So ESPN's Fowler expects Trey Hendrickson to consider sitting out without a new deal or trade. Oh man, I love so much when these ESPN guys do not understand how Trey Hendrickson works. Trey Hendrickson is a man of morals and values above all else. And I'm not saying any player who sits out doesn't have morals and values, but Trey Hendrickson, he has said many times and be very vocal that he separates business and play. Obviously, he said it's not fair to his teammates for him not to be out there just because he doesn't have a new contract. And also, I don't know if you realize this, he also signed a new contract a year ago. So he's going to honor that new contract and he's going to play out that new contract. So there's no way in any world that Trey Hendrickson sits out or refuses to play next year. He's not going to. So I find it funny that the ESPN Fowler here is saying, oh, he considered sitting out. Like, he's not going to. Like, Trey Hendrickson, in all honesty, and again, I'm not trying to say this as a shot at anybody else, he is a very great man. He is a man of faith. He is a man of principle, and he is going to play out the rest of his contract. So that's just, it's end and simple. I mean, you can make the, like, oh, well, he should sit out or he shouldn't play. Yeah, you could say whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, he's not going to sit out. He's going to play his contract. He's going to bust his butt, and he's going to give us his all. And that's exactly what we expect from Trey, and that's what we get from Trey. Trey is a one-of-a-kind type of player. That's why everyone wants to keep him, and that's why he definitely needs to be kept on this team. Trey Hendrickson agent and the Bengals have remained in contact over the last week, reigniting talks to try to find a long-term deal that has been elusive over recent weeks because of the explosion of the pass rushing market. The Bengals have made offers, just not, and with the way his money is gone well above $30 million per year. So if Hendrickson can't get a deal from the Bengals, he still wants to be traded. Keep in mind, Hendrickson never requested a trade this offseason. He requested a trade a year ago, but he did not request a trade this offseason. The Bengals told him to go find a trade partner for him because they couldn't get the deal done with. So he never requested a trade this offseason. He requested a trade a year ago. It went nullified. Nothing happened, whatever. He also threatened to retire. None of that ever came to anything. And then this offseason, the Bengals said, well, we can't get a deal done with you. Go try to find a trade partner. And I truly still believe that whole thing that they did there and try to tell him to go find a trade partner was kind of like a, hey, we're trying to humble you here and show you if you go try to find a trade partner, look at how many teams would actually pay you the money you want. And there wasn't many. I think there was like 2 or 3 teams at most that would pay him the money he wanted. So, and I think that's really kind of not humbled him, but I think the Bengals tried to kind of power trip in a way, being like, hey, see, if you wanted to leave us, these are the only teams, 2 or 3 teams would pay you what you wanted, and you probably don't want to go to those said 2 or 3 teams. So he did not request a trade this offseason. He requested a trade last offseason. This offseason, he did not do any of the such. But the Bengals kind of want to humble him in a way, so I think that's kind of what they did. There is trade interest. I'm told that the Bengals have not shown eagerness to want to move him. Well, we told teams we want either a first or above a first for him. If a team wanted him bad enough, they could have given us a first or more than a first for him. That's just how it works. Like, we set a price on a player. We set a price of a first or more than a first, and teams said, we don't want to pay that. Well, guess what then? You don't get the player. It's pretty simple, actually. It's a cutthroat thing here. You either give us what we want or you don't get player. Done. It would take a lot, probably a first round pick for them to move off their stance. Yep, they said a first or more. That was the exact leak about it. So right now it's a stalemate. I do know this. I've heard from several circles. Sometimes you hear players say, well, like, I'll just sit out this year, and it's postering. He's not going to sit out. I actually think he would strongly consider sitting out, possibly doing it if he doesn't get a deal done, because $16 million this year is not quite enough to compare to where it should be. Hold up. I gotta double check this real fast. Yeah, I thought I was correct. What do you mean 16 million a year is not where it should be? What do you mean? I'm confused, Fowler. He's making 18.666 million this year. He gets a prorated signing bonus plus his base salary. He's not making 16 million this year. So I don't know where you're getting 16 million from, but he's getting nearly $19 million. But again, he signed that. He agreed to terms. He agreed to that contract. I understand he probably does want a new deal. He does. He's been, vocal about that. But at the end of the day, he's still going to play. He's still going to go out there and bust his butt. Because guess what? Joey Bosa just got paid too. Joey Bosa got like 10 million. Von Miller is going to get close to like 10 some odd million. It is what it is. He's not going to get stupid money. Khalil Mack just got re-signed for 15. That's still more money that Trey Hendrickson's getting than Khalil Mack, who also had a fantastic season last year. So he's still going to play. He's still going to go out there. He's still going to give us his all. That's just how Trey is. Trey's not going to change. Trey's not going to, sit out just because he's not getting a new contract. He'll play his new contract. And then, again, like I said before, I think it's very a good possibility we go ahead and franchise tag him the year after that. And we give him 26 million, right? And then so on and so on. It is what it is. It's kind of how the NFL works and how the NFL is going. So shout out to that fact, and shout out to Donnell Hunter, who just got a 1-year $35.6 million deal. They sent him to a 1-year $35.6 million deal. Really? That's stupidly insane, actually. Okay. This is why a year ago, when we did sign Trey Hendrickson to that 2-year deal, we should have made it a 4-year deal or 5-year deal, and we should have just made this a lot easier for ourselves. But you know what? We made our bed. Now we sleep in our bed. And just because we don't like our bed, that's on us. So shout out to everyone, and shout out to Trey Hendrickson for being a real one and still playing and not sitting out and not refusing to play like every single analyst wants him to do. I swear, let me tell you this, okay? This is my personal opinion. The reason why I think ESPN, Fowler here, and all these other people say players who sit out and don't get paid, they just want drama so that they can write a storyline on it. They want drama so that they can talk about it and they can go on their show and break it down and do all this other stuff. They just want storylines to talk about. And it's to a point now where these analysts, quote unquote, that want players to sit out, they're just doing it for their own benefit. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, I get it. You want a story to talk about on your show, but it's just stupid. It's so annoying. It's like the most selfish thing you could do. Oh, sit out so I could talk about it. Whatever. Peace out.